Greetings YouTube, and welcome back to my Emerald, Nuzlocke, Randomizer, whatever order these words are supposed to be in. Last time we left off, I was doing some training. I almost made it to Verdant Turf. There's nothing there, at least yet, for me, so I'll heal. I believe there's a trainer that's in the cave. We're gonna go ahead and face him, and then we'll see if we can do anything. I don't have Rock Smash that I can actually use yet. I mean, I have the HM, but I need Marvel's Gym badge to do it. Watson, or whatever his name is going to be in this version. I don't think Wally's family really does much, so we're just going to go ahead and go for it. What do you call a wild man up in the mountains? A mountain man, right? Why don't they call a Pokemon in the mountains a potent Pokemon? If I can actually speak these words in a proper order that makes any sense whatsoever, my name isn't Scribe Tristian. Now, this is a very common name, apparently, in this randomizer. Is Tristan with an extra I in there. Alright, I'm not gonna try to fight this with Ricky, or with Fluffy. Wow, if I can speak the words that are in my mouth correctly, then maybe we will get somewhere. We're gonna switch out for Highness. A little bit of experience there, just type advantage, etc., etc. So he went for the Astonish, he really didn't do all that much. Let's go for a Poison Sting. That really didn't do all that much either, but it was, I guess, better than the Astonish was. So yay! Alright, the thing's poison. Looks like maybe 2 more hits should finish off the creepy duck. Pineapple. Sombrero. Thing. Not entirely sure. I think it's kind of all the above with Ludicolo here. And I think it's not really sure what it wants to be. But that's okay, because we are accepting of that. And it's just going to keep using Shadow Ball. And Shadow Ball no Jutsu. Did a little bit of damage to Highness. And Duckface over there is taking some poison damage. And now, more Poison Sting, that'll finish it off. I can't remember if Tristan here had another Pokemon or not. But Fluffy hit level 18, which is good. Highness hit level 20, which is also good. Tristan, oh, and Alakazam. That ought to be interesting. We will give this one to Ricky. Because Ricky has that Fury Fetter. Let's see what Alakazam looks like. See, these sprites, I mentioned it before, but it seems like Gen 1 and Gen 2 Pokemon that weren't originally in Emerald, but they included the sprites so it could, you know, communicate with Fire and Leaf Green. They just don't look good. I don't really know who approved this, but normally Alakazam is one of my favorite Pokemon. I mean, if you've seen my and Prince B's top 10 Pokemon lists, then you'll know that Alakazam is on up there for me. But this one just looks like he's very confused by these spoons that he's holding. It is just very confused and not entirely sure what to do with them, or why they are there. Whoa, that came way too close. It did less damage than the other times. It did, I think, 17 once, 18 once, and then 19 that time. So that came way too close for comfort. We are definitely switching out for this Nidoking. That was horrifying. We already lost Blade. We don't need to lose Ricky too. They'll be reunited as rivals someday, but not this soon. Alright, so Nidoking time. See, Nidoking as well, honestly. I mean, look at that jaw. There's something with the jaw and its eye. It just looks bamboozled. It looks bamboozled by its presence here. Also, I apologize if it randomly just went silent for a second and kind of paused. I was adjusting my timer so I can see where I'm at, because otherwise we're going to end up with a 40-minute episode, and I don't want that, you don't want that. At least I don't think you do. If any of you want a 40-minute episode, be sure and let me know in the comments. But I think it's safe for me to assume that nobody involved wants a 40-minute episode. Alright, well, Tristian's been defeated. Alright, we've still got Fluffy up front. I was making sure. I thought Fluffy was, but just wanted to make sure that I didn't have Ricky up front with that 1 health. That's all I don't need. I'd probably run into something that knows Pursuit would be my luck. So we got the couple up there. Can't really do anything for him yet because I can't. Now we're gonna go ahead and walk all the way back to Marvel. Such a far walk. Devastatingly far. That was exhausting. I'm gonna heal up. That way we can have Ricky at top fighting shape. This episode may have a few Pokemon Center runs. We're already, I suppose, at 2 now because I healed up when I first got to Verdant Turf. I'll see if I can go straight from the gym trainers to the Watson without needing another heal, but I'm not going to make any promises. Just because Watson, you know, being a gym leader, is going to have high-level Pokemon, and I don't know in advance what they're going to be. So let's see. Stuff around here. Now I can talk to you without blocking my path, because I think he blocks your path and you gotta leave the building, and that's not fun. Alright, and it's Webster, yet another name that may have been reused. Even though they're randomized, the names definitely seem to be from a pretty limited pool of names. Now let's try a Karate Chop, let's see how this goes. We're gonna go for the Quick Attack, didn't do all that much. They didn't Mega Evolve, so I mean that's not too big a concern. I got the Paralysis from Static. Let's see if I can land another Karate Chop. That should finish it off. Except I'm paralyzed and I can't move. So, gee, thanks, Manectric. Now, lower my defense. You'd have to lower it a whole lot to do more than what you're doing to me. Karate Chop lands. Manectric is hanging in there because why not? Now you're going to boost your own attack. Hoping to land this Scratch, but I'm not, because Fluffy's paralyzed. Probably going to feel that in the morning, or, you know, maybe not, depending on the paralysis. Attack keeps getting boosted, but without actually hitting me, that really doesn't matter all that much. Fluffy's going to get a good bit of experience there. Webster's also got a Squirtle. I think Webster only had 2 Pokemon. I'm going to switch just because I don't want to deal with Paralysis because it's annoying. I'm not foreseeing too much of a problem from this Squirtle, so we're going to get Ricky in there. Get a little bit of experience. Without it'll be much, being a first stage Pokemon, or a basic Pokemon if you want to go by the card game terminology. For a Quick Attack, let's see how that's doing. Alright. Maybe, well, I was probably 2 more. Got the crit with the Water Gun, I'm not too concerned about that. We'll give it a Swords Dance, and then 1 more Quick Attack should finish this thing off. And then I think there's a double battle, and then the Gym Leader, if I recall. So now this Quick Attack should finish it off. Yeah, I'm gonna say it should. It may have finished it off if I just come for the Quick Attack, if it was like exactly 50% of its health. But may as well. Although I really wasn't risking all that much. Alright, now we're gonna walk around here. Dodge that button. Who do I have in my top 2 slots? We'll get Fluffy out of there, put Highness in. I think I'm gonna switch Gygus in for Ricky as well. Ricky's taking a little bit of damage. Not critically low, but at the same time, there's no point sending in Pokemon with already damage taken at the start of the battle, since I don't know what I'm going up against. Alright, what do we have here? We got Elite Four Marilyn and Artisan Mark. You know, I met a Marilyn once. Well, that Marilyn was a god, so, you know, this one's just kind of disappointing. Alright. That Scyther is concerning with Gygus in. I'm not sure if I really want to keep that in here or not. I'll go ahead and double kick the Zigzagoon. I'm going to switch Gygus for Rock and Roll. That way we can just squash that Scyther flat. Alright, False Swipe from Highness really didn't do all that much. Double Kick will probably annihilate this Zigzagoon. Sure enough, Zigzagoon even got the crit in there because just to add insult to injury. Zigzagoon is down. That Pokemon get a very small amount of experience. And what's the replacement for Mark? Mark also has a Sunkern. Mark is really planning for success here. In the meantime, let's see how this round goes. Another false swipe behind us. Scyther is going to take a rock throw. That ought to squash it flat. Sure enough, Scyther is out of there. Sunkern is going to take a Poison Sting. I don't know how high Sunkern's stats are. Gygus leveled up to 19. That's great. Rock and Roll gets a little experience there. Maryland sends out a Magikarp. These two are really planning for success, folks. They are well stocked. They are going to make it all the way to the Elite Four. I can just about guarantee it. I actually am nervous when it comes to... I mean, I'm a while away, but when it comes to the Elite Four and that general part of the game, this could be a bit intense with those high levels and not knowing what it's going to be. You know, I could face the champion. Gee, I wonder who it is. You know, I'm not going to give away spoilers because it's not like this game is several years old and you should all know by now who the champion is. But anyway, you could have Borshi. I mean, who knows who the champion is? Could have all Magikarps. They could also have a team of Deoxys. Alright, so these two have been defeated. Ta-da! Oh, my eyes are frazzled. You should probably see a doctor. Unplugged and turned off. I honestly don't even know what to say to that one. That one... maybe it's just an overactive imagination, but that one seems like you're implying something there. I don't even know what, so I'm just gonna move along awkwardly with my conversation. So, on the note of Pokemon Centers, not that I was talking about Pokemon Centers, but we're gonna go for healing number 3 in one episode! We are 12.5 minutes in, and we are healing up for the 3rd time. Well, in my defense, the first time was healing up from last episode. So... yeah, anyway. Totally lost my train of thought there, but it is okay, because we are about to go take on Watson, or whatever name they use this time around. Was it this button? Yes. Around... see, I think if I had let that youngster come up to me, he would have blocked that path and I would have been able to do that. But now, I've given up on my plans to convert the city I have. And so, I didn't finish reading that. Hey. Oh, now what are you doing here? What's that? You say you've gotten past all my rig doors? Wahaha! Waluigi! Now that is amusing. Then I, Waluigi, the leader of Marvel Gym, shall electrify you. Wah! What's with that sprite? There's like a shadow inside of his mouth, and his tongue looks like a separate mouth. He looks like he's got a second face inside of his mouth. That is horrifying. And he's got a quillfish. That's slightly less horrifying. We're gonna go ahead and give this thing to Gygus. Gygus was really wanting a new pet fish. Something to play around with. I mean, with the psychic abilities, you can take the fish for a walk, just kind of load it along there. It's gonna harden. I don't even know how a fish does that, but apparently it will. Can't imagine that's comfortable seeing as this fish expands and shrinks, but whatever. Whatever floats your fish. Now it's gonna minimize. Pretty sure the entire premise of Quillfish is that it gets bigger, not smaller, and that move is banned. And Dr. Crystal has a super potion. But Confusion may still Oko it. Was it an Oko? No, it's an Oko! Quillfish is just barely hanging in there with false Confusion. And another Confusion just takes the Quillfish out. This very confused fish has somehow managed to drown itself. I'm sorry for your loss, Crystal. That's a lie. I'm not. Now for Spinda. I always loved Spinda because it's totally randomized for those placement of the spots. It's just very interesting to me. I was about to send in Highness because of the double kick, but then I remembered the Spinda a lot of times have Psybeam. So yeah. Also, whenever I see a Spinda, I can't help but imagine over on Peanut Butter Gamer, who I'm pretty sure started this game after I did, although not as a randomizer, but pretty sure he started his run after I did because he's copying me. So, you know, if anyone asks, PBG copied Master Moses. So, put that on a billboard somewhere. But no, I always picture Drunky McPanda. The Pokemon that PBG pretty much just hated from the beginning. But that is besides the point. Because this is not PBG. Although Rock and Roll fell asleep. And is fast asleep. This is very thrilling. Soon Rock and Roll will wake up and give Spinda a rating with magnitude. Come on. Come on. It's time to wake up. No, seriously, like, wake up. Alright, well I'm gonna go ahead and switch, because that's getting a little too close for comfort, and we are gonna get on the wall in there to take this thing down. It's level 24. This might be his highest level. I think. I hope. So let's see what Bite will do. Bite did not do very much, but I got the flinch. Let's go for a Steel Wing. Because why not? Steel Wing's animation makes very little sense. They're going for an Uproar. That might have been nice before you put Rock and Roll to sleep, actually. Let's go for a Rock Tomb to finish this thing off. Now it's slower. This is a serious tank, Spinda. It is just hanging in there to everything. Let's do another bite to finish this thing off. Finally, Spinda is down. On the Wall is going to get some experience. Rock and Roll is going to get some experience. Dr. Crystal has a Nidoran. We are going to switch. I'm going to give this one to Gygus. Gygus loves poison types. They're his favorites. Alright, let's confuse the heck out of this thing. It's gonna be walking in circles and getting its horn caught in outlets. I mean, there's plenty of them in Marble City. Especially this gym. It's gonna be walking into those like little electric grid wall things. Poor little guy. Never stood a chance. Now for Numel. This would have been a great choice to use Rock and Roll, but I don't have Rock and Roll available. So, we're gonna get Fluffy in there. Not really out of type advantage, but just because why not? Fluffy could use a little bit of experience. Needs a little bit of exercise, getting a little bit perfectly round there. Going for a Karate Chop. Numel withstood that better than I thought. Oh, they're gonna rate me. I got an 8. Thank you, thank you. Numel does have a level advantage. That just about stopped my heart for a moment there. That was terrifying. Let's see here. Now I don't know what to do. That's got me worried that they're gonna do that for another Pokemon. Let's get Gygus in there, and I really, really hope that this is not something I regret. Alright, they're going for an Ember. I am okay with Ember. Why they didn't just go ahead and use Magnitude again, I don't know. That seems like a very poor choice on the part of the AI, but I'm not going to complain. This Numel is randomly seeing ducks. I'm pretty sure they should see someone about that. If you are hallucinating and seeing ducks, please see someone immediately. And there's the Super Potion. I forgot that they usually carry 2. Let's go for another Confusion. Let's take this thing down. Alright, maybe one more. And yes, Numel is down. And was that Crystal slash Watson slash Waluigi's last Pokemon? Wah! Fine, I lost. You ended up giving me a thrill. Take this badge. And my money. And my dignity. And my creepy mouth face. Got the Dynamobadge! Hooray! This is a moment of success, and we have avenged those who have fallen in this gym. We have now defeated the enemies that stole them from this life, and from this run, and from this ROM, and from this file. And we have driven them into the ground. Also, I can use Rock Smash now. And I got a TM. I think it's Shockwave, if I recall. Sure enough, that TM Dia can take the Shockwave. It's a trustworthy move that never misses. You can count on it. Also, here's my number. I need an adult. Alright, so now that I have gotten the number of a creepy old man who at one point killed one of my pets through his minions, I'm gonna heal up. Because I want to go for number 4 in one episode! Yeah! And after I heal, I'm probably gonna end up cutting it there. Next time, we're gonna reunite Romeo and Juliet back over in Verdant Turf, and then we should go onward, and upward, and forward, and inward, and sideward, and slantward, and any other word you can think of. And then from there, we shall make progress, because progress for progress' sake must be discouraged. And that makes no sense in this context, but I felt like quoting Dolores Umbridge. And anyway, thank you all. Like, comment, subscribe, etc. Yada yada yada. Thank you. Master Moses signing out. Dos Vidania.